Kaikohe marching in sorrow and solidarity for 3-year-old Catalya. They came from all over Te Tai Tokerau to be a part of this Hīkoi, some 400 people, in a show of unity, aroha and support for our tamariki and how we need to better protect them.
I live here in Kaikohe with my siblings, and we just lived here, so it's opposite us where the little girl passed away, and it's about coming together. It's about unity. It's about sending the message out there that children are our tonga, children are tomorrow, and the generations to come.
Fathers, grandfathers, uncles and brothers, they all came from all walks of life because this was also about tāne and what it means to be a man.
E hoa e hara mai au I runga te karango ngā pēpi hinga atu e hiko atu I runga te karango ngā tini atua. E tai mai au I tēnei ate haka kaha nei tā mātou mahalatanga o ngā pēpi I runga I te rahe. Hara mai au I te tautoko ake ngā mokapuna ngā pēpi I tai atu I runga te karango o ngā mokapuna e hiko ana.
E hena te unu I tetahi pōhehe, ko te pōhehe pia, kei wahora I o tātou kainga nonohi pene me tēnei, ka hore ngā pāpa e arohana ki a rātou I tamariki. Kei kona te aroha, ki pai. Engari ka taka kinotia tetahi mokopuna pene me tēnei, I roti te wiki ko pahure nei, ko peitahia te katoa ngā pāpa Māori anone, hore kau he aroha ki ngā mokopuna. Na māku ki a tātou, he pōhehe nui tēnā. Kei kona te aroha o ngā pāpa, ki pai. Nō reira, tētahi wahanga nui o taku haerenga mai ki konei, he haka atu tonu, he pāpa aroha kei konei, he tāne aroha kei konei, he whānau aroha anō hoki. Kei pōhehe te motu, kei pōhehe te ao, hoino te mahi a ngā pāpa I tēnei kaingaka, he patu ngā tamariki, ka horera wātu.
Colour was everywhere because Catalya loved colour, loved balloons and bubbles. It was also a celebration of her short life, and New Zealand First Minister Shane Jones felt compelled to be a part of it.
Kaikohe has received an awful rap, and the tragedy of the murder of this child, I think, is the culmination of a long period of decline, the spread of the drug culture, and it's also a challenge for those of us who want to create solutions with the community. So those solutions have to be developed in such a way the community can see you kanohi ki te kanohi. And I've always taken it in Māori politics, you have to be a critic of your own people at the same level of consistency when you criticise the influences of mainstream or the crowd. And obviously my own mokopuna go to school around here, they go to early childhood, kohunga education, so it's good that I show up.
Te Pāti Māori MP Mariameno Kapa-Kingi, from the other end of the political divide, also joined in.
I guess Māori media, Māori politicians, Māori community leaders, we often get accused of from sectors of society for not caring when one of our tamariki die. Just your response to that.
Yeah, it's an utter nonsense. Of course we care. I don't have to announce that to te ao katoa that I care. That's nonsense. We care in our own particular way. We show up quietly, we do what we can. There's definitely a care for Māori communities, whether it's Māori politicians, ordinary Māori like me, Māori media. We care and we engage in very different way and we show up in a very different way.
Well, it's a burdensome responsibility because the media do have a disproportionately lurid level of interest when it's a Māori story, but that's just the culture that you have to encounter and deal with. But look, I do feel that on this particular issue, the banner wavers, Toitu movement, and the new crusaders have been conspicuously silent. And there's nothing worse, in my view, than a 3-year-old dying in these circumstances.
So what are the circuit breakers? You're a part of the government. How do we protect our tamariki and our mokopuna?
Well, there's a lot of pūtea coming into this part of the north for social rehabilitation, but it has to be, the cops have to do their job. Where people consistently smash over the boundaries, then they're held to be account, locked up as far as I'm concerned. But sadly, the cops can't arrest society out of these dramas. And I would say to Kaikohe, whānau leaders need to intervene rapidly when they see dysfunctionalism, remove kids from a dangerous situation, and in many cases remove them from their whānau if the whānau themselves are enveloped in a drug-riddled level of social mayhem. But it's also a wake-up call for the people managing these housing complexes. I'm very harsh on kāinga ora, and I'm equally harsh on the Ngāpuhi management of the housing complex, that if you're not going to retain a level of authority and maintain standards, then the drug-riddled cancer will occupy those areas, and we can't have it.
Dr. Lance O'Sullivan has worked the front line of health, addiction and abuse.
What are we missing that's keeping our children safe? It's all those drivers that contribute to child death and child murder. That's, demoralised, despondent, disenfranchised communities, and so where's the answers for that lie? Where do they lie? That's a big question, but it comes at an individual level. It's us seeing signs of abuse, seeing signs of neglect, and actually saying something about it. So we all know times when we've maybe seen a bruise, and we sort of said, hey, should that be something we should ask the question about?
And obviously you've driven here like many people. Yeah. So why did you come here today?
Okay, so 14 years ago I was involved in a child murder in Kaitaia, and the child was 2 years of age, and I was working in the Kaitaia emergency department, and that child was murdered, and I had a lot of PTSD from that, actually, looking after a Māori child who died, same age as my child who's 17 now, and I'm here for that, my own selfish reasons around this is to see that happen again in our community so close to home. It's heartbreaking, to be honest. Solidarity, there's all these whānau here from Kaikohe and Awha to support this idea that this is not right. We are not a country that we could be proud of if we see our tamariki, our mokopuna die in these circumstances. So yeah, I guess it's a massive concern that even over a decade later we're still seeing this.
Northland towns like Kaikohe are currently battling overwhelming odds. Wastewater testing has revealed meth use tripling in the north over the past year, higher than anywhere else. And just last month, Ngāpuhi Chair Mane Tāhere controversially called for an all-Pōtiki-style police raid on affected communities and their meth dealers.
I think a sharp electrical jolt needs to be administered, as happened in Opotiki for Kaikohe. Mane is showing courage and boldness. And I feel, as a 65-year-old Māori political identity, I should support Mane. Partly I came over today because I felt that Mane's voice was a lonely voice. But
why do you think it's a lonely voice?
Well, there's an element of whakamā. And look, it goes against the grain. I'm sure that this mokopuna suffered at the hands of someone who has themselves been unable to deal with addiction and all sorts of other social problems. So this is a difficult area. How, as a Māori identity or Māori leader, do you shine the torchlight on the dysfunctionalism in your own community, because you will be branded as being a kupapa or a sellout of your own community. And that's what makes Winston and I different politicians. We don't bother about those epithets. We know that all pockets of communities are challenged by drug-related dysfunctionalism. It's disproportionately strong in Tai Tokiro, but it's not purely an ethnic thing. I mean, we don't have an ethnic problem. We have got problem ethnics, and they are fueled by drugs and violence. And I am planning what's left of my political career to be their worst nightmare.
I think if P is the issue, and it is an issue, of course, I know that, but there are deeper things, and whatever way to clean that up, if there's the shock word, I'm not repelled by it straight away, I've got to say, but it's what's left behind. It's just where the real work and the cleaning and the wāteana, all of those things, that's the longer journey. That's the deeper journey.
We all want to protect our tamariki and our mokopuna. How do we do that, I guess? What are some steps forward?
It's to be with them. 5 minutes out of your time, out of your busy life, is all they need. They need that love, they need that manaki, they need you. They don't need mum or dad on the device. You know, they don't need mum or dad taking drugs. They need mum and dad just to be with them. This is how we grow. This is how the children grow in love.
E kore ngā raruraru katoa e ora I te kāwanatanga, me titiro tātou ki a tātou anō. Mā te mahitahi anō hoki, mā te mahitahi a ngā whānau, ki te kāwana, ki te pirihimana, ki ngā tari kāwanatanga katoa, ka puta ki te ora, ka puta ki tua.